these stats just to help set the scene on Paris 2024. So you can see here, there was over 12 million tickets sold, and predominantly by local buyers. Paris was the first ever games to be organised to a carbon budget, and you can see some of the stats there, particularly in terms of participation. The marathon course was open to participation in terms of the men's and women's, saw 40,000 people, and there was over 300,000 live spectators for the opening ceremony along the Seine. 100% of venues at Paris were able to be accessed by public transport. Some 60k of new bike lines were introduced as part of a very dynamic, active travel strategy by the city of Paris. This is a very important stat there, and that is that 95% of venues used for Paris were existing venues, which is really important. I think what we'll see in LA is some 100% of existing
from them, and probably one thing we should not copy is how they approach tech. So don't wait for too long, because Paris left all innovation and technology to the last couple of years and sometimes last couple of months. And for example, Paris 2024 had a good really good 3D model, and I'm not making any judgment, but it just arrived too late. So it should have been there for the planning and preparation phase, because if you do a model of what it looks like and see the impact of the decisions you make, then you save money, then you save time, and more importantly, you increase the carbon footprint reduction. So yes, Brisbane shall and will do better, and we are currently helping organisations get there.
But it's an undeniable fact that we're the smallest host city the Games has had since Barcelona in 1992, and we're roughly about the same size that Barcelona was in 1992. And that comes with pretty unique challenges. So if you look at Paris and LA, they're such large cities and have such high tourist visitation year round, that an Olympic and Paralympic Games represents a large but not unmanageable increase to their population numbers during the Games. So for Paris, for example, we know that there's about 3 million tourist arrivals recorded during the Olympic fortnight, which in terms of an increase is around about 20% increase on the population of metropolitan Paris. Now, and Betty touched on this as well, given Brisbane's a long way from Europe and North America, it's not likely that the same total number of tourist visitations are likely from those regions, but visitation from closer Asian countries and a big domestic turnout, which was the case in Sydney, has the potential to result in a scenario where if even half the tourist visitation from Paris arrives in Brisbane, we're talking conservatively about a 50% increase in the Southeast Queensland population in 2032 over the Games.